Alright, so today we're going to be going over combining like terms and just reviewing some notes that hopefully some of the terms that we're going to talk about are things that you remember from other math classes in the past. If you have any questions, please let me know. So we're going to be looking at different expressions and we're going to be working on how we can simplify those expressions. First, we want to look at variables with terms. If it has a variable, that means it is a term with a variable. So, examples here are 7x. Another example is negative 5x. Okay. The sign goes with the term to the right. And then a positive 4x. When we write positive numbers, we don't put the plus sign, but when we write negative numbers, we do include it. Coefficients are the numbers next to the variables. So for these examples, we would have the 7, the negative 5, and the 4. Constants are terms that do not have variables. So for this instant, 3, 8, and negative 1 are examples of constants. When we combine like terms, what we can do is we can put together things that are the same. So here I have, again, the same expression as the top. So I'm going to put a box around all of the terms with variables. All right, and then what I can do is I can put those together. So this tells me that I have 7 x's. This is negative 5 x's, and this is a positive 4 x's. So if I wrote that out using symbols, I would have 7 positive ones, 5 negative ones, and another 4 positive ones. So all together, I would end up with 6 positive. I'm going to go over here on the side just so you can see. So if I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is what 7x means. I have 7 of them. The negative 5x is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then another 4 positive. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you remember when we worked with integers, we can do 0 pairs. Remember, so a positive and a negative become a 0 pair. That's a 0. That's a 0. 0. 0. 0. And then I'm left with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 x's. You can also combine just the coefficients. So 7 minus 5 is 2. 2 plus 4 is 6. Either way, you'll end up with the same answer. Then I'm going to look at my terms without variables. I have a positive 3, a positive 8, and a negative 1. So 3 plus 8 is 11. 11 minus 1 is 10, a positive 10. So again, I had a positive 3, a positive 8, and a negative 1. These two together gave me 11. 11 minus 1 is 10. So, what other thing you need to keep in mind is that when you have terms with variables, you want to make sure that you have variables with the same letter and the same power. So when you go to simplify each expression, we combine the coefficients. So 3x plus 6x gives us, we can do 3 plus 6. This is another way of looking at it. We remove the x, combine the coefficients, and put the x back on. Here, again, 9 minus 10. This is just another way of looking at it. You can use writing it out. You can use the coefficients. This is just another way. This is a visual way of looking at the distributive property, which we'll talk a little bit more about tomorrow. Here we have 7m and negative 5m, and then negative 6 is a different one, so it cannot go together. So the 7m minus 5m, I have 2m left, and then minus 6. You don't have to use different colors, but if it helps you, I'm very visual. I like the different colors. I like using different shapes. So let's see, I have a 9 and a positive 5, and here I have a negative 6w. So I do the terms with the variables first. So I have my negative 6w, so that subtraction becomes a negative plus 14. Something else that you can do before you even start, because students always say, how do I know the difference between subtraction and a negative? You can rewrite everything. Instead of subtracting a number, you can add the opposite. So 7p plus negative 1 plus negative 9p plus 5. This way, everything is addition. I don't have to worry about, is it negative, is it a subtraction sign? Then I can just focus on identifying my terms. So 7p, and then I even see like that goes together. It's a negative 9. This is a negative 1 and a positive 5. If it helps you, rewrite it on the side. 7p plus negative 9p. Take out your coefficients to simplify. Whichever way works easiest for you, that's the way I want you to do it. You can try all these different methods, see what works, what doesn't. The goal is to be able to simplify and combine like terms by the time you're finished. So again, we can rewrite, especially once they start getting more complex. It can be nice to rewrite it that way. Always include the plus sign in your shape. So especially then if you rewrite it, it always goes with the 1 on the right. So 5h plus 7h is 12h. And then I have negative 6 plus negative 8 is a negative 14. You can leave it like this, or you can rewrite it as 12h minus 14. However you feel more comfortable. Now down here, we have to remember that invisible math. So there isn't anything in front of the x, there's not a coefficient, so we can always add a 1. All right, if we don't see a coefficient, that means the coefficient is 1. Because anything times 1 is itself. Y's and x's are not the same. If I wrote it all out, like I did with my x's here, I can't put x's and y's together. So they get different colors. So I have 5x plus negative 1x plus 3x. So I have 4x plus 3x, or 7x. Here I have 7y and 2y, which is 9. 9y. Alright, one more. 26a plus 2b plus a negative 4a plus 10b. Identify my like terms. If you do not need the different colors or the different shapes to identify the like terms, then don't do it. If you can do it without, then do it without. However, please make sure that you're being very careful as you go through to get the right answer. Sometimes terms will have exponents. If the terms have different exponents, then they are not alike. If they have the same exponent, when you combine the like terms, just combine the coefficients, leave the variables and the exponents the same. So here I have 5x squareds and 7x squareds. So all together I have 12 x squareds. The x remains the same, the squared remains the same. Here I have negative 15 n to the fifth and 4 n to the fifth. Again, I just combine the coefficients. Okay. If you look at example number 12, you'll see that some of these are going to be different. So I have 8k squared and a negative 2k squared. But then I have k and k and a constant. So I do the k squareds first, then the k values, then the constant. At the bottom, to find the perimeter, we add up all the sides, and then we combine the like terms.